All right, let's do a quick trade recap. Also, just so you know, this was on 150K evaluations, but don't worry, soon they're going to be funded accounts. Also, I'm not going to chart out everything how I originally had it. I'm just going to mark out the zones that I was paying attention to, and it was really only two zones. First one, which I didn't take the trade off of, just made me more confident in it, is this 3 hour supply zone that we have been rejecting three times already. Yesterday we rejected it, but I didn't end up taking the sell. Personally, I didn't like the price action before it, so I had just walked away. I didn't trade yesterday, if you were wondering. Also, just the way it came down tells you a lot. Bunch of up and down bad price action. But anyways, when I came in this morning, first thing that I saw was on the daily time frame, which I'm not an ICT trader, but I do understand the concept of, tapping into a fair value gap and then retracing or you get it, tapping into a fair value gap then moving, right? So this is what I was seeing in the morning. I saw that we had this gap and that we tapped into it and we were rejecting it. At the time it wasn't this huge green candle, but the candle was actually turning green. So that was kind of my first bullish confluence, I guess you could say. And then this 3 hour zone, it's not like I was going to take a trade off of it. I just marked it there because it was definitely an area that was close to price and an area that was very, an area of interest. Yes. Okay. Because we've rejected it three times at the time. Next zone was I low-key have to remember what zone it was. Okay, I know I did end up marking this 1 hour zone, supply zone, that we again had a nice reaction off of, tapped into it, rejected it. There was also this 2 hour that I had marked up, but me personally, I liked that tiny 1 hour. So I did have both zones marked up, but I'm just gonna erase the 2 hour because we don't really need it. Plus, we had already crossed my 50% line, so also the 1 hour zone just looks a bit better. But anyways, market opened up. Oh, also, I'm not gonna mark it now, but I did have support and resistance 1 hour lines. Okay, so I do 1 hour support and resistance. I had my white lines. Honestly, didn't really take a trade off of those. Again, it was mostly just uh off of this right here, right? We have a 1 hour supply zone. I always have my 50% line basically telling me, okay, yes, it is a supply zone, but if we end up going over 50%, most likely we're going to continue to break through it. And that's exactly what we did, right? So, first 15-minute candle, I did mark the highs and the lows of the first 15-minute candle. We go down to the 5-minute time frame. I did execute this on the 1 minute. So let me show you on the 1 minute actually. Okay, so on the 1 minute, we had a 1 minute candle close outside of my yellow line, which is literally just a 15-minute orb strategy, right? Opening range breakout. And I have seen this multiple times where you get a nice 1 minute candle close outside of it, and then it's a very nice entry. Me personally, I don't like executing like right after, you know, like this, like right after that close. I kind of just like to see and wait. But what really made me enter was, at the time, first of all, market opened up very bullish, and my confirmation personally was, the 50% line breakout, and also the 15-minute candle closing above the 50% line. That's like my actual confirmation A plus setup here. I love when the first 15-minute candle tells me what to do, and it told me what to do today perfectly, you know. But yeah. And but going back to the 1 minute, so right after that 15-minute candle close, I knew I was gonna go long. Personally, I was waiting for it to pull back, but I didn't get a single pullback. I literally just saw it, spike up. But what made me go in was, at the time, now looking back at it, this green candle didn't really close that strong, but the move when it happened, it was very fast, and very strong. So my entry was at 982. Not the best entry, but yeah, pretty good. Good enough, right? And then my stop loss was below the 5 minute wick, which again, very tiny, not much of a pullback, which would make sense because we rallied up the whole day, right? Um, yeah, and it is really a plus setup for me because I enter, and then what do I aim for? The next area of interest, right? Again, which is why I showed you that 3 hour supply zone, because I knew price definitely had an interest up in this area. So what I could have done was put my TP all the way up here, right at that 50% line, or at liquidity, or at the highs, whatever you want. I mean, I'm a scalper though. I like to get in and out. And this was a perfect, in and out trade. It was 350 ticks, so good enough. I definitely, I don't want to say should have made more money. Definitely could have though, because I only took this trade with 6 micros, which I should have taken it with at least 10 micros, because I am trading 150K accounts. It's not like I'm trading 50K accounts. So I do have to scale up, which I haven't traded 150K accounts in months. So it is something that I'm going to slowly start to do, because I don't want to get straight into, minis or anything. But I definitely will soon. This was an A plus setup. It should have been a sign for me to, size up a bit more and take advantage of the move, because it was a really nice move. What's kind of scary though is that there really wasn't any sort of pullback, and there still hasn't been any pullback. But looking back, I mean, it's crazy how such a small piece of the pie can get you so much. But yeah, that's all I have today. Very simple trade. I hope that made sense. And thank you for watching.